guys, it's Ames here, and today I want to talk to you guys about how when I reached rock bottom, it ended up being such a great thing for me. Like, let me explain. Number one, the best part about being at rock freaking bottom is that there's only really one direction you can go from there, and that's up, up, up a T. And so genuinely, it felt like God's intervention or something, because like life just started to get better. I started attracting things so nicely into my life. My life is by no means like perfect or anything. Like, obviously life is inherently a struggle, duh. But like when I kind of like gave up on life didn't give up on me. I really just let everything go, and all of my values shifted when this happened, okay? I truly had this insane catalyzing experience where I was just like, what is my life? Like, how did I get to this point? This was probably like a few months ago where I genuinely had an identity crisis. And I was like, I don't even know who I am or what I'm doing or why I'm in this certain space. And at this time I was in college and I was alone in my apartment. And I was like, I'm a disaster. This is insane. Like, I just didn't even know how I got to that point. And it's so crazy how that like shook me awake. And when that happened, I felt like I started attracting so many people into my life, but also I started like, what's the word when you're not attracting something and you're like repelling? I started repelling certain things from my life too. It's like the things that I could once do easily and I could just kind of be on like auto mode, you know, Tesla, self-drive mode, no mo. I was on a full fucking manual shift. And so basically like the things that were tolerable for me after this identity crisis or this really, really, really low point, it was literally a shift in consciousness where I was like, I'm changing my life, baby. I'm changing it. I'm gonna make this shit. I didn't even say like, oh, I'm gonna make this better. I was just like, I'm just surrendering to life. Like, I don't need to try so hard. I don't need to prove myself so much, because it's okay to aim for success. It's okay to have goals. In fact, I encourage that. That's amazing. I think like it's very important to have purpose and to have goals and blah, 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 especially in Western civilization. Because like, what am I gonna do? Hug a tree all day? I need some kind of reason for being here, right? But I truly realized that my reason for being here is that I'm here, and like that's good enough. You know, like I can figure out a purpose and I can have fun with that, but that's not all of my worth, you know? Like even my impact on the world doesn't like determine my worth, right? So obviously, it makes me feel better to have a good impact on the world, but my sense of self started like disintegrating, aka my ego, my identity started really disintegrating. And I just am now getting back into a space where I'm starting to like not feed my ego, but I'm starting to, I guess, curate my identity in a way that resonates with my soul instead of this sense of lack, instead of this sense of like chasing and being in the rat race. So I just found it really interesting because I was feeling so lonely in college and I was feeling like I was just losing everybody. But then naturally, I just started attracting new, really cool people into my life who were treating me super well. And I had never really been treated so well by people. Obviously, there's also the certain scenarios where I wasn't being treated well by certain people, but I wasn't really focused on those people because obviously I was, my soul was being fed by other people. And it just showed me how, because I internally shifted in some way, I was genuinely attracting that into my life. I was attracting people who were accepting me and loving me for the parts of myself that I thought people wouldn't love me for or wouldn't appreciate me for. But really, like, other people found it badass. And I just think it's really cool. Obviously, like, there's gonna always be people that don't like you. There's always gonna be people that don't approve of you, that don't think you're cool or funny or nice or whatever. But I just really didn't care because I reached a state of low-key, like, self-hatred that was so strong that I realized it wasn't even real. Like, I realized that this self-hatred was like something I learned. I learned to hate myself through just the way I was programmed and through the way I had grown up in my conditioning and blah, 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 blah. And obviously growing up, I was fed a lot of love. And, you know, I'll give credit where credit's due, but I think certain ways that I think as individuals, we all have certain ways that we need to be loved, and we need to learn how to give that to ourselves. And that was something I was always super hesitant to do because I just didn't feel like it was my job. I'm like, it's not my fault I'm like this. Why do I have to fix it? But it's like, you're the one that's gotta live with you. And I'm trying to be in good company when I'm with me, myself, and I, okay? That's a whole squad. That's a whole throuple. So yeah, when you internally shift, and when you kind of get to a point where you naturally surrender to life and you stop resisting so much, things just start coming into your life. You just start drawing that shit in like you fishing. Okay. Oh, got him. I got my freaking fish, baby. Like, I don't know. I kind of just became a better manifester, if you will. And if you don't believe in manifestation, let's look at it in a scientific way, okay? We are all made of energy. Even like this has energy in it. The ceiling has energy in it. Like, the words and the way I'm saying these words all are an energetic frequency that you can feel and that you can perceive based on your energetic frequency. And so if you're watching this video and you're enjoying this video, it's because we are somewhat vibing on a similar frequency. You know, you're attracted to that. You're attracted to, I think, like the core essence of who you truly are in other people. And that's why I think sometimes when we get like triggered by other people, it really is just a reflection of our own energy. I like to think of it like this, okay? Let's say you're a sponge. And let's say every time you talk to somebody, it's like the equivalent of like the sponge being squeezed, right? You're the sponge, and whatever's coming out of the sponge is you. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, oh, you made me feel like that, and you did this, and you triggered this, or whatever. And that's the thing, is like, no one can really like make you anything, right? You just might be triggered in a way, because anything that's coming out of that sponge, that's all your juice. Like, that is your sponge juice that's coming out. That's not their sponge juice coming out. Okay? So that was like a disgusting, absolutely disgusting analogy right there, honestly. But yeah, you're a sponge, and whatever you're soaking up is literally what you're becoming. And so soak up good vibes. Like, have fun in life. If you're not having fun and you're not enjoying even the shittiest times of your life, if you can't just like smile through the pain just a little bit, like laugh, just fucking laugh, play some music, have a dance party. Like, it's really important to not take life too seriously, because I swear taking life too seriously and being too hard on yourself and speaking to yourself too negatively, it really impacts your health. Like, it kills you slowly when you're not going after your dreams and ambitions, and when you're not flowing with the things that you're actually passionate about. It literally kills you slowly. Like, if you're stressed all the time, you're going to be sicker. Like, you're gonna sprain more things on your body. Like, it's so crazy how the mind and the body are connected, right? Like, it's actually insane. So yeah, when I started treating myself in a way that was super unconditionally loving, in the sense that I'm not perfect, but I'm accepting myself for all of my imperfection, I started attracting people who were also embracing me for all of my imperfection. And actually, they would see good in this imperfection, because I was too. I wasn't seeing myself as this and that. I was just seeing myself as I am. I am. Like, if I ask myself, who are you? I am. No need to label it, no need to constrict it, no need to do any of that, right? Because at the end of the day, you just are. You just are a vessel, and you're a literal sponge, and you're just soaking shit up, baby. So if your sponge is a little dirty, squeeze that shit out, okay? And if you need to, you know, like soak up some new stuff, then like embrace that stuff like a sponge would, you know, like, if that means working out, if that means going on a walk, just take little baby steps, and then eventually your sponge will be so full of soapy deliciousness, and you'll be attracting such amazing sponges into your life. That's my message of the day. Thank you so much.